Welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, where we share testimony stories. Today's story is motherhood. Motherhood is a subject that's very special to me as a mother, and I'm sure to all mothers out there. We're just coming out of Christmas, where we were receiving our Lord, where Mother Mary, as a young lady, a young girl, accepted to be a mother. And you all know what she and her spouse Joseph went through. It was not easy, but they did it for the love of humanity, for the love of God, and we're so grateful. I'm going to share a story with you why this is something that amazed even me, why motherhood was special to me from a very young age. I grew up in a Catholic home, still very Catholic, and Mother Mary was someone I always looked up to. I always used to wonder, if I was younger and I lived in those days, would I have had a chance of being Mother Mary? Because I used to look at her. Now, when you look at how Mother Mary became to be, then you know, okay, it's not possible. She was born for that. She was a special lady, a special girl. And so, what happened was that growing up in a home where I was a Stella girl, after being a Stella, I was a child of Mary, and I was always very prayerful. We had sisters, priests, bishops coming to our home very often. My father was a Eucharistic minister. My mother was a women's organization leader. So we always were around church and church issues. And so priests, sisters, and bishops would come to try and encourage us to join them. And my sister and I were always sitting to listen to them, and we thought it was something that would love to do. And my young sister actually did join, and she's a nun right now. But then I asked the bishop one question. I said, but my Lord Bishop, if I become a nun, does that mean I cannot have a baby? He looked at me, I was like 12, maybe 13, and he was like, yeah, that's basically what it means. I was like, I really would like to have a baby. Even I couldn't explain why I was so obsessed with having a baby. So the bishop said, oh, she'll get over it. So I was like, yeah, anyway, let's see how it goes. But that feeling never went away. I grew up thinking I would have been a nun, but I would like to have a baby. And so eventually I got married. And before that, in fact, my family being so large meant that I, being the eldest daughter, because I was the third eldest, but our first, my eldest sister passed on while she was young. Then my brother was now the eldest, and I was the second eldest. So now what happened was that because we're such a big family, it was now my responsibility to birth, feed, and ensure that my siblings were well taken care of. So it used to be so hard that sometimes I would have like 6 of them lining up that I needed to birth. And my mother would be away at church, and she would say before they go to sleep, make sure they have bathed and they have eaten. So it was so hard that, especially that they were mostly boys, they would throw things at me. First I have to chase them to bring them to bath. When it's bathing time, I have to run after them, go and bring them, bath them, and I have to cook and ensure that they've eaten. And so one would think, having gone through such a process, it would have cured me of wanting to be a mother. But no, it didn't. So eventually I got married, and when I got pregnant, I was told that when you go in labor, the more it hurts, the sooner you are seeing the baby. So when I went in labor, instead of feeling the pain, I was feeling the joy, thinking, aha, so today I'm going to see what I've been carrying. Today I'm going to see the baby. And that's how I remember going to the hospital, and the sisters, the nurses, were now giving me as an example. As the older women were crying in pain, they were like, look at this young girl. She's just a young girl. She's only 20 or 21, I think I was then. And she's not crying. Now look at you people. You should be ashamed of yourselves. But they didn't know my secret. My secret was that I was looking forward so much to seeing the baby that my brain was not even registering the pain. And I was like that throughout. I have 4 children, and throughout my giving birth, that was the process. I was always looking forward to seeing my babies, and therefore I would not feel the pain. Maybe that's something that you young ladies who are yet to have babies can use. It worked for me. It will definitely work for you. So having babies is all good. And babies, being a mother, comes in many different forms. We have mothers that have adopted children. We have mothers that have found themselves being mothers not because they wanted to, but because some people died and they were next or the only ones to take care of the babies. We have religious sisters, and we have priests and other people who are mothers to so many. They are mothers to maybe thousands of us. So motherhood, fatherhood comes in many different forms, and that is why it's something that is so special. So I wanted to share that because I was really amazed as to why I felt I needed to be a mother from such a young age. And then when you look at the life of a mother, it's not an easy life. As the video that the link will show about unanswered prayers, how you can have a child who has challenges, but you're still a mother. You still have to care for that child, and those challenges are so real. So motherhood, yes, you can want it, and it's not everybody that may have the grace to have the baby. But if you are one of those who want a baby so much and you are not able to have a baby, you are still a mother, because there are so many children who need mothers. Look at the street children that we have. You don't necessarily have to bring them into your home. Yes, you can foster and bring them into your home and look after them, but you can also just help out from a distance. So I thought I should encourage all of us, mothers, fathers. This is something that is there for us to do, something that we can give to everyone who needs it. Don't wait to have your own child. You may have the desire, like I did, and it's by God's grace that I had the children, but it's also possible that I could have wanted them that much and still never had the children. I have counseled many ladies who have hoped to have babies, who wanted to have babies but did not, and they blame their loneliness on not having babies. I don't think it should be like that. When you don't have a baby, or when you have babies, they're there for a certain period. They're a blessing for a certain period, after which those children will go. It's by God's grace that they will care for you, they will be with you, but they can also just leave the nest and live their own lives. Therefore, you should have your own life. Whether you have babies or not, live your own life and let them be. So don't say I'm lonely because I never had children. No, you can go and help other children, street children, but don't say you are lonely because of that. When you say you are lonely, it's a sign of brokenness. Something is not healed. You need to address that. You need to find a way of dealing with that, and you need to be happy. Otherwise, you hold on to the children and they will not be happy where they've gone. So please, let us accept what God has given us as a blessing. God knows so much what we need. He made us, so He knows what we need and what we can deal with. So let's treasure that, let's accept that, and let's bless others who need our blessing. Comfort Time continues. I hope this helps you and frees you. Please remember to give us a thumbs up, and also share with us in the comments if you've also felt the way that I felt, or if you feel differently, so that we can engage and learn from each other. Stay blessed. See you in the next video.